Hey, hello, and welcome to the show. It's me, John Park, and I am time traveling because apparently I put the wrong date in the title on YouTube. So this is the 16th of January, not the 6th. I'm not actually time traveling at all, but thank you for the catch, Simple Jack. I missed that. So, hey, here we are. It's time for JP's Product Pick of the Week. Thanks so much for stopping by. What do we got going on here? I've got a cool product for you that I want to show you, and I also want to give you a nice juicy discount on it. We are burning through these quick, so let me just show you. If you're not aware, I think maybe we just restocked them. We'll see. If you're not aware, this is where you want to go. This show takes place inside of that product page. You don't need a coupon code. You can just throw some in your cart and buy them before the end of the show. You'll get them at the half price. If you head over there right now, you'll see it's 50% off. I think we probably have, I'm guessing like 150 of them or so. There were about 47 before the show, and then I think we restocked 100 held ones in there. That's my guess. So if 15 of you want to get 10 of them, which is the max, boom, do it. We'll clear right out of these, and then we'll order some more. Or just get one, or get none. It's really up to you. We're not going to tell you how to live your life. But what we are going to do is tell you to head over to that URL, check it out, check out this video happening inside of there, and to tell you even more about it, check out L'Amour, going back just a little ways to when this was the new product pick of the week. So take it away, Lady Ada.
Next up, we've got the Airlift add-on for ItsyBitsys. So if you have our little ItsyBitsy boards, you love them, they're so cute and tiny and small, but you want to add Wi-Fi, well, U-Box makes a little ESP32 module we program in with the Nina firmware, and pop it on top, and you can use Arduino or CircuitPython. So this is a little demo, which I have. I also have the live version of this demo if you want to see that. It connects to the internet, and it gets you stuff, and it's all TLS 1.2. It's nice and secure. It's pretty fast. It handles all your socket connection stuff for you. It's so nice. So this is the ItsyBitsy. So I just got stacking headers soldered in onto the Itsy itself, and then I'll just show this if I remove it. Underneath, this is an Itsy M4, so you can run CircuitPython or Arduino with this on an Itsy M4. If you want to use this with an ItsyBitsy 32U4 or M0, you will only be able to do that with Arduino code because there's not enough RAM to run the CircuitPython core. And on the 32U4, the RAM's pretty limited. You can't do a ton. You can like connect to MQTT maybe and get some data, but you can't do a lot. So that's just something to watch out for. But on the M4, you're golden. You can do anything you like. And we'll have more ItsyBitsys out later, of course. But this is a lovely way to add a little easy Wi-Fi addition to it.
Yes, indeed it is. Wrong button. So yes, that's it. Check it out. That's it right there. We'll take a closer look at it in a moment. But actually, I really love this silk screen. It, of course, inspired today's thumbnail. But what a cute logo. That little Airlift logo there. Airlift Bitsy wing. So that's right. That right there. That's my product pick of the week this week. It is the Airlift Bitsy. It is an ItsyBitsy Wi-Fi coprocessor add-on. Using the ESP32, you can then inside of CircuitPython or Arduino add some Wi-Fi or Bluetooth capability to your projects. So the Bluetooth is BLE, and we actually have a ItsyBitsy that already does Bluetooth. So really the main attraction here is the fact that you can add Wi-Fi to your ItsyBitsy projects. I was thinking of doing this to add some Wi-Fi to one of mine, which is my little wave fader wave slider board, 16 slide potentiometer board. I was thinking maybe it might be kind of nice to add a little Wi-Fi to it, and this would be a good way to stack that onto the ItsyBitsy. So this stacks right on top of the ItsyBitsy. In fact, I have one right here. You can see I've got an ItsyBitsy with the little short stacky, or rather the little short, what's the word, pin headers, sockets, and then I have the pins in the feather wing, not the feather wing, in the, let's say that again, what do I have? So I've got the ItsyBitsy on the bottom, I have the short sockets, and then on the Wi-Fi Airlift Bitsy, I have short feather pins. I don't know if we we have any of those that are short, ItsyBitsy, but you can snap them off and make them work. So let's take a look at a couple things here, and I'll also give you a little bit of a demo. So first off, let's take a look at, there's the product page right there. So this is product ID 4363. So if you head on over there, you can see we've got some nice photos there of the board. There's a little size comparison to a quarter. And you can read about it. Then you can click some links in here to get to a couple of Learn Guides. One is this primary Learn Guide, and another is about upgrading the firmware on it if you want to use one of the different firmwares that are available or just update to the latest. So this is the main guide for this, and this will take you through the board specs. We have the pinout on here. So this uses SPI, so it's ESP32 connected via SPI to the main board as a coprocessor. So we have those pins marked out here, and those are the ones that are going to be used in the libraries when you connect up to your board. And then we have some examples of using that in CircuitPython as well as in Arduino, and there's also an example here of using it as a Bluetooth BLE, Bluetooth Low Energy coprocessor for your Feather. The Feather I'm using in this case is actually the RP2040, and so that one has no connectivity, but it is a nice fast board, so it's a good one to add some connectivity to. And so let's take a look at this in action. I've got a little example here. Let me bring up my coding view. So what I'm doing here, I'm using one of the basic sketches, one of the basic code examples from the Learn Guide in CircuitPython. It is going to use my credentials that I have stored over in either the secrets.py or more modern version is the settings.toml, where I've specified a Wi-Fi access point SSID and the password. And what happens is when this boots up, the ItsyBitsy is going to go and tell the Airlift to jump onto that Wi-Fi. And then I have a URL here for a JSON file. So I'm going to go over to this boardapi.com. Thanks to ToddBot for that suggestion. This is an API just of activities you can do when you're bored. So next up we have the board getting set up on these pins, D13, 11, and 12 for all of the SPI connections that we have. Here you can see I'm setting up an SPI bus, and then we're creating this object, the ESP32 SPI. I'm just calling it ESP. And then we're also using Adafruit requests so that we can go and request from the different servers the data that you want to get back. We have some connections, a little connection script that happens here. And in the main loop, I'm simply going to fetch the data from that URL and display it. You can, of course, use this to show on different displays that you have, use it to fire off other events. You can parse that data and filter it and get just the bits you want. I'll show you the raw display of that JSON. So what I'll do is restart the board down here, and if you look in the REPL there, you can see we found the ESP32 in idle mode, lets you know what the firmware version is, the MAC address, tries to connect to the API. I'm a little far from that, so it's not a great connection, but good enough. And I'm getting a little ping to Google, a 20 millisecond ping, so pretty fast ping. And then it goes up to this boardapi.com every 15 seconds and grabs a new activity to do when you're bored. So right now it said learn woodworking. And now it's going to go query that again. It says fetching JSON from board API. Grabs a new one. Hold a video game tournament with some friends. Hey, these are good bits of advice. So like I said, if you were using an external display of some kind, you could show just the info that you want, not this full JSON there. And you can, of course, use this for all sorts of other Wi-Fi types of activities, including Adafruit I/O things if you want to. I can't remember if we can do whippersnapper stuff with it or not. If anyone knows, let me know. And then, like I said, you can also, if your desire is to use it in a Bluetooth mode, that's possible. Also, a couple facts about the board there. This uses 3-volt logic, so you don't want to use a 5-volt ItsyBitsy. I think the only one is one of the earlier ones, the 32U4. So don't use that one. You want to use a 5-volt ItsyBitsy with this. There's also a tri-state chip on one of the SPI pins, which means that it can actually work with other SPI devices without hogging the whole bus. It'll flip over to ask the coprocessor for some data, some Wi-Fi activity, and then flip over to pull your other SPI devices, which is pretty neat. Like I said, this works in CircuitPython as well as in Arduino. And let's see, yeah, so that's the board there. Let me know over in the chat if you have any questions. Let's see what other activities we're getting. Shred old documents you don't need anymore. That one sounds a little suspicious. Or you can go on a fishing trip with your friends. So this right here, let me jump back to the main page here. You can see we have CircuitPython Wi-Fi, a couple of different examples of things you can do there. And placing requests like we're doing. You can do HTTP GET, HTTP POST, and then there's some advanced request usage here. Also, here is if you do want to use CircuitPython with BLE. I don't know if we can do that in Arduino, but if you want to use CircuitPython with BLE, there are some jumpers, I believe, you'll have to solder in order to flash it with a different firmware. I haven't done this myself. If anyone has and has experience with it, let us know over in the chat. And then there's a little guide here, an example of using this for BLE, which is pretty cool. And then here is the Arduino usage, same sort of thing. Tells you which libraries you're going to need to get this set up with the Wi-Finina library to get that, or firmware to get that working. So that just about does it for today's product pick. Like I said, head on over to that URL right there if you want to go grab some. Here's a nice, I mentioned liking this silk screen. Here's a nice close-up you can see there. Those are the pins that you can solder, little jumpers you can solder on the bottom that you can see there on that bottom picture. Nice little Airlift logo. Just stacks on like this. I'm going to go ahead and unplug this, and I'll show you in the overhead setting those up. There are different configurations you can use for this, but this one, let me just zoom out a little bit and refocus there. This is kind of a nice one. So like I said, I've got the short headers on there so that it doesn't become too huge. And then there's my ItsyBitsy RP2040, and there's my Airlift with the little short header pins on there. You can just set those in and set it down. One thing to know, unlike Feather or if you're used to Arduino shields, this is symmetrical. You can totally accidentally put this in the wrong way. Don't do that. So you need to pay attention. Best advice I have is just check the silk screens. You'll see where, for example, a ground is or the reset. Just make sure you're aligning those before setting that in there. That would be bad. Not sure how bad, but probably not good. It won't work at best. At worst, you might hurt some of the hardware there. So that's how that stacks on there, and then you can use software to get that up and running. So I think that is going to do it, unless there are any questions over in the chats. Tyeth over in our YouTube chat, hey Tyeth, says not whippersnapper support yet, but got my eye on it. That's great. If you're keen enough, you could make it work as the bigger Airlift board is supported. Okay, so you might be able to fake it out and use one of the other Airlifts. That's pretty cool. Also, yeah, no M0. That's too low power. So really you want to target, I think, the two best choices here are an M4 or an RP2040 ItsyBitsy. I'm not sure about the using the NRF52840. Maybe that one would work with it. I haven't tried that. That one does have Bluetooth on it natively, so maybe you could use Wi-Fi and Bluetooth at the same time if you really needed to. That could be an interesting combo. So if anyone tries that, please report back. Okay, so that is going to do it. That right there is my product pick of the week this week. It is the Airlift Bitsy. It is a Wi-Fi and BLE add-on for the ItsyBitsy using an ESP32 coprocessor. That's my product pick of the week. For Adafruit Industries, I'm John Park, and I will see you next time. Don't forget, if you want to get one of these at the discounted price, head right on over there. It looks just like that. You'll get that for $7.48 just during the show. in a little bit here, that switch will flip back to the regular price. So go get one or more if you want them. All right, thanks everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.